Thanks very much. Thank you, Peter. It's good to be here this morning. When I left, it was dark. When I got up, it was dark. So, such is my life. Thanks for inviting me to the 164th annual meeting of the Chamber. We'll get Willie Brown up here and ask him what the first one was like. I don't see him yet, but I'm sure he'll make himself known to me. I don't come alone. I come with two very respected gentlemen from CBS and one very respected woman, and I want to introduce those folks for you right now. The general manager and the president of KPIX5, Bruno Cohen, is here today. Also, my news director, vice president of KPIX5, Dan Rosenheim, and our director of communications, Akila Bolden-Monifa. Thank you, guys. These are true professional broadcasters for you this morning. Let's see. Down to business here. If you haven't noticed, the city of San Francisco is absolutely booming right now. I counted yesterday coming into the city 36 construction cranes. Sorry, Peter, it's more than a dozen. Just on Fremont Street coming to Market Street. So if you don't believe that this city is absolutely exploding right now, then you haven't been paying attention. By the way, if you Facebook us at KPIX5, KPIX.com, you'll see that we're treating this story with utmost importance because it is something that's going on not only in the city of San Francisco, but around the Bay Area. Most of you probably had a 3-day weekend. Welcome back to work. While you were asleep, 3 things happened. 614 flights were canceled this morning out of the East Coast, so be glad you're in San Francisco today with this wonderful weather / drought weather. That's another thing we're going to worry about for a while. The U.S. bobsled team won a bronze medal. Let's hear it for them and all of our athletes overseas. Yeah. And as I mentioned, the cranes keep going up in this city. It's an amazing thing to watch. In the 50-plus years that I've been around, I have never seen a boom like this. But the city is exciting, and every morning I live in the East Bay now, but coming over, get to drive on that wonderful bridge and look at this beautiful city every day. So it's really a treat for me. Next up, you're going to be among the first to hear the results of this highly anticipated Dignity Health CityBeat poll, which reveals voter attitudes as the springboard for the Chamber's 2014 advocacy agenda. And to present the poll results, please help me welcome the chair of the Chamber's Public Policy Committee and Dignity Health's Vice President of External and Governmental Relations, what a mouthful, Wade Rose. Wade Rose.
Thank you, Ken, and good morning, everyone. We're here once again to discuss the Chamber's annual CityBeat poll, which is sponsored by Dignity Health, and it'll come as no surprise to you really what the results are, and you'll see at your table a rundown of some of the main findings. But every year the Chamber commissions a quantitative poll with the well-regarded firm of David Binder Research to survey the citizens of San Francisco and assess their opinions and identify the issues which greatly concern them. The poll findings and the year-over-year attitudinal shifts serve to inform us and shape the Chamber's advocacy agenda for the coming year. The results of the 2014 Dignity Health CityBeat poll show something that you've already heard about and is not a surprise to any of us, but the city has pivoted. And the city has pivoted from the issues of dealing with the crisis of the Great Recession to now dealing with the problems of a great success. And while the city's people feel that it's a good place to be, it's a great place to be, there's concerns about the future, and their concerns about the future are expressed by the issues of affordability of housing and generally how expensive it is to live in San Francisco. So 50% of the voters essentially say that the city is going in the right direction, but again, reflecting concerns people have about all those cranes, about congestions on the streets and on the sidewalks, about the cost of renting a home, cost of owning a home, is that it's dropped about 10%. So we've gone 60% in the right direction last year to about 50% in the right direction this year. 37% are folks are pessimistic about the city's trajectory, and that again is, as I was saying, about 10% more than last year. Quality of life scores are slightly down over 2013, with about 65% of the voters saying that the quality of life is the same or getting better. However, more than 30% of the quality of life say that the quality of life has decreased, and again, this reflects people's concerns about the future and the problems of being a bustling, successful community. So for the first time in 3 years, the cost of owning a home has surpassed homelessness and street behavior as the top concern facing San Francisco voters. 34% of voters named it the top issue facing the city, followed by homelessness and street behavior at about 29%. That's bad street behavior. And muni and public transportation, 19%, jobs of the economy, about 18% of concern to many San Franciscans, and many other issues will follow. And you'll see that in your handout at your table. The cost of rents and affordability also, of course, ranked amongst the top 3 concerns, and 21% of the voters ranking it as their top issue. When asked about the economy and city services, most respondents indicated their opinions remain generally unchanged year over year, which is pretty good. It is, however, noteworthy that 38% of San Franciscans say that the condition of our parks has improved, while indicating there has been a sharp decline in the availability of housing. So it's this dichotomy that things are pretty good, but people are concerned about where things are going. And 73% state that their ability to control their cost of living in San Francisco is diminishing. Voters in general are wary of imposing new taxes, with the exception of a proposed increase to the vehicle license fee, which looks like it could pass if the funds are dedicated to transportation initiatives. And this is pretty straightforward. Muni and transportation are extraordinarily important for the people of San Francisco. So to the extent that muni and transportation overall can be improved, people are going to support it. Finally, as far as taxes are concerned, people are continue to oppose congestion pricing, and that, of course, is the issue of placing somehow asking people to pay a fee for driving downtown. And voters continue to be opposed to the idea of government-sponsored power. That is where San Francisco would become a direct provider of electricity, natural gas to San Franciscans. So please, the complete poll results are printed in the programs and can also be found at sfchamber.com. This morning's focus is on managing economic success, and it resonates not just with the business community, but with the voters of San Francisco. The concerns of the voters have shifted from creating jobs and bolstering the economy to the issue of overall affordability and workforce housing.